pastor was saying that the Bible says, what God has put together, let no man put asunder. Right? But very many married couples, they, even when God has really told you that is not supposed to be the person you're supposed to marry, they become so big-headed until they convince themselves that God is the one, even when it's not God.
Might be too rich to let go.
They just force themselves that God, no, even the voice of God, once He speaks, either you ignore or don't ignore, it will always come back. So very many people end up in divorce. I married this person, but you hear very many complaints, and very many people end up in divorce. Just because you're happy at that time doesn't mean that even in the future things will still be the same. That is why very many people divorce, actually, because they have not sought God for their partners. You first want to try and error until you find the right person. Why don't you just pray and be patient? Then when God reveals to you, this is the right person you're supposed to go to, you don't even have to go and struggle, because God says that He will make your what? Your yoke light. You don't need to toil and struggle. Once it's that person whom God has shown you find that it is hard to separate you people. It is very hard. But very many people are not looking for that. Me, I will convince myself until I am so determined I cannot. Until you end up doing your own things. When things become worse, then you start, God, why didn't I listen? God, now you start wailing. So with everything you're doing, even the things that seem very minor, learn to seek God for those things. Don't just take things, these ones, they are too small for God. Let me just do these things on my own. God will tell me the big